patience in Brussels is wearing thin. The EU is looking to London for a clear indication of what it wants to do. And if London can't agree, then the consequences are clear.
As it stands today, a no-deal Brexit is likely. We are ready for it, even if it isn't what I want. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel said, "The future of the European Union is more important than Brexit." And I agree with her.
In London, a potentially important shift. Theresa May says she wants another extension to the Brexit deadline and will seek political consensus to break months of parliamentary deadlock.
I'm offering to sit down with the Leader of the Opposition and to try to agree a plan that we would both stick to ensure that we leave the European Union and that we do so with a deal.
The initial reaction from the Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn, positive but cautious.
Of course, I'm very happy to meet her. We need to have a discussion with the Prime Minister. We need to ensure that Parliament has an opportunity to vote on proposals that can prevent us crashing out of the EU in the end of next week.
In Paris, another reminder from Europe of the need for Britain to decide soon. The French president underlining that British interests aren't the only ones that count.
Our priority must be the proper functioning of the European Union and the single market. The EU shouldn't be held hostage to a political crisis in the United Kingdom on a long-term basis.
The EU will have to agree any extension to the Brexit date. France is not the only sceptical voice.
Let's go straight to London and our correspondent Birgit Moss standing by for us. Birgit, a lot of developments today. Will the Prime Minister be able to get the support she's not received so far from her own party, from the opposition, from Labour?
Well, the initial sounds that we've had from Labour are very positive. They see it as a genuine offer. At least this is what they say. They also have to present themselves as open. They have time and again asked Theresa May to sit down together and to come to some compromise, and have been very critical that she hasn't done it much earlier. We know that in her own party there is a lot of resistance, especially from the right of her own party. One of the Conservative members of the right wing of the party has said, well, she's now handing Brexit over to make a deal with the socialists. So really not very happy, and they are saying that they are fighting tooth and nail to prevent something like a softer Brexit, like a customs union, which is something that Labour would like to see. So really it's about the shape of Brexit, what form of Brexit, that's really the issue. And it's about the guarantees that Theresa May can also give to Labour. What is she going to, how is she going to go about it? She hasn't fleshed this out. So the next days really will be really crucial for these talks.
Okay, this is a major shift, moving over and looking across the aisle for support. What happens if the Prime Minister fails to get Labour on board?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. What we know is that on the 12th of April, the UK will leave the European Union without any deal, without any provision for the future, which would have dire consequences for business. Business are very afraid of this Northern Ireland business in particular. They are so dependent on the European Union for all their trade. So this is something that Theresa May says she wants to avert. This is why she goes over to Labour. It's also something that most parliamentarians are trying in a parallel process also to block. But we know if there is no deal in London, if the withdrawal agreement isn't signed, if there isn't another extension with the European Union, then this will be what's going to happen in just over a week's time.
Oh, okay, that is a big cudgel she has, the April 12th deadline looming. Let's assume that Theresa May manages to get Labour on board. When could we see Parliament voting again?
Well, there really isn't that much time. If she wants to look for another extension, and I presume that the talks also with Labour have to take some time, she has to really get this off the ground in the next days, because there is another summit in Brussels about a possible extension, and Brussels will need to know by the beginning of next week. So really, in the next days, she has to see some results for this new approach to Brexit.
Birgit Moss for us, bringing us up to date from London. Thanks so very much.